What is going on, my crazy 76er fanatics, guys? Thanks for stopping back in for another daily pod with your daily 76ers discourse and discussion. Got to thank the likers, the watchers, the commenters, and especially the subscribers. Guys, thank you for helping the conversation continue to flow, helping this channel continue to grow. You guys matter so much to us here on Sixers Daily. The likers, the watchers, the commenters, and especially the subscribers. Thank you guys so much, guys. And I want to tell to all Sixer fans out there, we don't have a Paul George problem. We have a Paul George possibility, guys. I want to give Paul George some grace that he may not deserve, but some grace that hopefully throughout the season he will and should have earned. Paul George last year had the worst season of his career last season. So the efficiency or the lack thereof, it was a down year for Paul, and every dog has their down day. In the NBA, every player has that one down year. But that doesn't mean that Paul George is now a shell of himself. Plus, with the talent that's surrounding this team, it's always true that great players play better around good players. Great players' talents are exemplified when they're surrounded by talent that is just or similarly in skill. Now that Paul George has 20-point players surrounding his left and surrounding his right, Paul George shouldn't have to be doing so much, taking as many shots as he was last year on a night-to-night basis. You want to see Paul George not only pick his spots, but take efficient and smart shots. Not only can he do that, but with this team that is designed and put in place around him, he should be doing that, guys. The lack of separation, the lack of first step quickness and mobility, the things that Paul George used to have that nowadays you question if he does have, you don't need them. You're not even asking him to use those skills or talents to be successful on this team. You want Paul George to, again, pick his spots, take his shots, and be efficient in doing so. That could mean catch and shoot threes. That could mean attacking the rim when the rim is open. That means playing off the catch. That means attacking the closeout. That does not mean isolation Paul George. That does not mean post up Paul George. And that also may mean we're not calling too many sets and too many plays for Paul George. He's going to have to get his shots in the flow of the game, which may be better to suit an older, more experienced Paul George, because the load that was on his shoulders last season seemed to be too much to bear offensively. Defensively, he took a few dips and a few dives and some defensive ratings. That could be because of lack of effort. That could be because of the potential and the possibility that, hey, he's getting older, he's getting slower, more surgeries, less speed, less athleticism. You know what happens with the more you get injured, the less athleticism you do retain. I'm giving Paul George the benefit of the doubt, guys. I'm asking every Sixer fan out there, with the way this team is successful, adding a piece like Paul George only helps this team possibility of being great. And if Paul George isn't get the guy that you signed for 55 mil, if Paul George is still playing bad, playing sad, he's an easily movable piece, an easily movable asset. Not only does Paul George still have the skills to pay the bills, his contract is so high, and thanks to Quentin Grimes re-signing at a qualifying offer, this team has about like $9 million under the first apron. I'm sure Daryl Morey could work some magic. I'm sure Daryl Morey will work some magic if he needs to for Paul George. Larry Marketing could be an acquirable piece. Trey Murphy could be an acquirable piece. Maybe we go Zion for an acquirable piece. This team has so much depth under contract so far that if they do want to trade for another star, Paul George will be the perfect contractual piece to get on moving. One player who's now moving and grooving, hopefully stepping on the court tonight, Jared McCain, y'all. Demon home. Demon home. Jared McCain is probable for tonight's game, which means if you know a player is probable, they're probably going to play like 85 to 95% of the time, bearing any anomalies or any physical or health setbacks. Jared McCain will be stepping on that court, playing some stints. And Nick Nurse had this to say on Jared McCain. He has worked extremely hard on a number of fronts to get back and play. So I think from a conditioning standpoint, I think he's going to be in a good place. He's taken, as of the last couple of days, lots of shots, high volume attempts, and he's making them like he normally does. If Jared McCain is playing like he normally would, like he normally does, this team is only going to get better, because adding Jared McCain to the depth of VJ, Maxey, and Grimes only strengthens up this three-headed monster to make it a four-headed guard beast. And I love Jared McCain's opportunity under a rookie scale contract to potentially Be the Stephen Curry this team needs, guys. Jared McCain's ceiling is really Steph. Jared McCain's floor is truthfully Seth. Either way, guys, Jared McCain's shot is fire. He could be the Curry this team needs. He could be the shooter that this bench lineup could definitely use. And how will Jared McCain be used? How many minutes will he be garnishing? How many minutes will he be playing? Well, Nick Nurse says the plan from the jump was to insert him in with the VJ Edgecombe, Tyrese Maxey, and Quentin Grimes group. That is the plan. That was sort of the plan going into the season. Again, I think they all can do a variety of things. Gives us a chance to have some more depth, and the depth is the strength of this team. Nick Nurse went on to say that it gives us a chance to, again, play some shorter stints so that the energy can stay high and all of those things. Nick Nurse said, we need him back. We look forward to having him back. And that quote right there is why it's important to know that when Jared McCain does come back, he has a high responsibility on this team. Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe, they currently play the most minutes in the NBA. Okay? They lead the NBA 1 and 2 for minute shares per game. And adding Jared McCain to this lineup gives Nick Nurse another guard that he can trust, another shooter he can rely on, and another pluggable piece for a bench lineup. When these bench lineups have been very Tyrese Maxey, VJ Edgecombe heavy, they've been led by those two so far. If you add Jared McCain, you now have a bench lineup that looks similar to this. And I like that depth right there. I'm not sure if Jared McCain's ball handling would warrant him to be the point guard or the shooting guard, but regardless, dual guard responsibilities will be shared between Quentin Grimes and between McCain. Both of them will be playing each position, shooting guard and point guard, facilitating and creating, plus knocking down shots. I'm not really worried about those two. But the remainder of the three, this is how you stagger lineups. And this is how you not only keep players fresh, but you keep your lineups looking like they're the best. You put Joel Embiid, who will still has guaranteed and warranted some double teams. You put him on some shooters, okay? McCain, knockdown shooter. Quentin Grimes, knockdown shooter. And Trenton Wofford, he's got some guaranteed shooting chops, plus defensively he can get some defensive stops. This is a bench lineup that I would like to see Nick Nurse throw out there. Maybe give Joel Embiid some more spacing outside of those, or give some more guaranteed spacing when you have those non-Tyrese Maxey lineups. VJ Edgecombe's been shooting the ball extremely well, 42% for a rookie. But he is still a rookie, guys. We're not sure if it's just a hot start to a career or it's going to be only upward shooting numbers from here. But Jared McCain, Quentin Grimes, and Trenton Wofford give this team some guaranteed bona fide shooting depth around Joel Embiid, who he plays his best when he has floor spacing. He plays his best when he's surrounded by shooters. And don't forget that Kelly Oubre is shooting that ball at a career high percentage. Career high. So what does McCain's return do to Philly? It not only shores up the right now, the current time period, but you got to look at the future, guys. If Jared McCain isn't playing at the rate and at the success that you would like Jared McCain to play, that you expect him to play for, guys, you got to understand we are under new leadership. We are under new management and new surveillance. Bob Myers did not draft Jared McCain. Bob Myers may not be a fan of the TikTok man. Bob Myers may want to trade Jared McCain. So if Jared McCain gets off to a slow start, if Jared McCain's looking like the fourth on the totem pole from that four-headed depth, if he's not tying someone, if he's not looking like he's a neck-and-neck pluggable piece with Quentin Grimes or VJ Edgecombe, I can see Jared McCain, again, potentially a trade asset, not because we need to, not because we should, but because why would Bob Myers not move a rookie with a high ceiling, a hot market on a team that has high championship hopes? Bob Myers knows how to maximize championship windows for certain teams and for certain players. And I think that's exactly why Bob Myers was added on to this front office to potentially maximize the success of this squad. I can see Jared McCain on the move again. I could see Quentin Grimes potentially losing some time, but I definitely see Tyrese Maxey and VJ Edgecombe getting shorter stints now that Jared McCain is in the mix, guys. And speaking of in the mix, will the Sixers cut anyone? Because I'm hoping they don't, but rumors are, from what you guys have been saying, Kyle Lowry and Eric Gordon are cuttable candidates. This team's getting younger, this team's getting funner, and those guys just don't necessarily fit the identity of what this team needs and what this team has. But Tyrese Maxey says Kyle Lowry better not be going anywhere. Because Tyrese Maxey said, what does Kyle Lowry bring to this team? He went on to say, I've got nothing but love and respect for K-Lo. He's like my leader. He comes to me and he leads me, and I try to lead the team. So I couldn't do this without him. Honestly, right now, Tyrese Maxey feels as though this team needs Kyle Lowry. So, guys, I want to know if Kyle Lowry is a team or a person and a player this team needs. Eric Gordon seems to be another reliable guard for shooting depth, potential post play. Eric Gordon did lock up Paolo. Paolo could not back down Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon is one of the best low post defenders, especially for guards in the NBA because he's so strong and has such a low center of gravity. I don't know, guys. Eric Gordon and Kyle Lowry seem like they're here to stay. So leave a comment. Who do you think is going to take that last roster spot? Are we signing Dominic Barlow for good? Are we getting Jabari Walker for good? Or is there another pluggable piece out there this team should definitely be looking at, definitely be trying to call? Will anybody get cut from this team? Will anybody be moved? Let me know, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys, because on this episode, we're going to title it Demons Home. Shout out Jared McCain's return. Shout out the Sixers tonight. Hopefully they win and put up a good fight against the Chicago Bulls. This is a matchup for the #1 seed in the East, and if Joel Embiid doesn't play good, if Jared McCain doesn't play good, I can see Bob Myers making a few phone calls to see who could play better on this squad. Like, comment, and subscribe, guys. We got more in store.